Okay, so till last class we have just gone through the primitive data types, and now today we are going to uh, get more details about extended data types, meant to say that non-primitive data types, right? So let's go into the fresh file. Yeah, let me close this. Let me close this. Right. So just, uh, till here, till that number data types and booleans and everything, whatever here, right? So date and time is not yet done, right? So that's a big thing. Okay, let's finish the date and time and then go with the extended data types. I forgot.
Harish, I can't able to see actually anything.
Really?
Are you sharing?
Yeah, I'm sharing. Hope everybody can see my screen. If you are not seeing it, just let me know. Oh,
No, we can't able to see.
really? Okay. Just give me a second. Let me reshare
Yeah,
it.
yeah, thanks.
Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay. There might be a problem from my side. All right. So where we are? We are with date and time, right? Let's go. Before going into the extended data types, go with date and time. Rename. You have to be careful while you are giving the name. I mean, naming conventions. Right. So the date and time. This data type is nothing but is the placeholder where we can store the date, right? But to play with the data and time, you have multiple ways. So either you can go with the string type or you can go with the specific date and time. So you can see just like this. Let me keep the placeholder for this. Okay. Now I'm going to s underscore date. So I can easily go with my date and time. Excuse me. Right. So simply I can type like this. Right. So otherwise, there is another way how to go with that. Uh, just a second, guys. A call from Watchman. Okay, guys. He just informed that about power fluctuation. Okay. Yeah. So this is a way, I mean, as we are going to maintain a simple data type with string. But specifically, if we want to play with uh, data type, so we don't have any standard mechanism, but there is a standard mechanism that we can use a date package. So how can we use the date package? By using import date time, right? So date is directly going to what I can say, directly going to keep the only date value. I mean to say today and I mean it's not today, the day of the month and month at the same time the year. But when it comes to the time, it's only handles the clock value. I mean to say within a 24 hours, right? So combination of two things or nothing but date and time, right? So with the help of date and time, we can play with all these two, right? So keep remember that this one, whenever you want to import any package into any of the script, that package should be maintained at the top of the script file, not in middle. It's a best practice to keep all imports in the top level, because before starting your script, the package should be available. That's why we have to import everything into the script at the start only. Okay, so current date equal to, so I'm already using this date and time. So I can use this date and time dot. What I have to get, I can get the date, right? So I can get the time as well. Instead of current date, current time, right? And we have everything. We can go with any kind of thing. Okay, so date time dot, right? So you can convert any string into the current timestamp, or you can pick the current timestamp from date and I mean clock and calendar with the combination of. So stamp, right? And there is one more thing. Time zone equal to, you can get that time dot. So these are the key players. Okay, that's why I'm just going to pick these all. Nothing much. Right? Let's see which one returns what. Print. Hope you all familiar with this. What purpose we are keeping print, and for what we had to split. Why we are keeping these two blocks here, right? So if anything we want to print on the screen, we want to see on the screen, we have to keep with print. Otherwise, you cannot print anything. So I'm going to keep the same value here, nothing much. So right, timestamp, going to keep the timestamp. And time zone. Function missing required argument here. What happened? Why it is saying this? It is already imported everything right here. So this should not supposed to came up. Somehow the date is saying here is missing. Let's take let's take this string and see what will happen. Why date module is saying some problematic stuff? It is not supposed to rise this. It might be a problem in my package and system. Probably it is not. Why? Let's try to convert the date. So the date is nothing but we'll pass some kind of parameters here. Day day equal to, let's go with day equal to 02, comma, month equal to September, comma, so probably 02 is not a, is not a value. Okay, now year. Let's try to pass this all and see what will happen. Right? So when we are going to run this, again it is saying same problem. This package is completely corrupted in my machine here. That's the biggest problematic way. Let's see. Same.
Harish, I'm also trying the same code. I'm also getting same error.
Then it might be okay. We'll see it in different manner. So before going into this, let me comment these two on a upper state. Let me try. There is a alternative way to get the current stuff. Okay, let me try with this. What happened to my keyboard today? Why it is duplicating the and time zone is also should be comment. Date time. So let's try with now. Let's try it now. Now has a problem. Why? This module is not completely available. Just give me a second, guys. I did some problem somewhere. Definitely I did. It has to be invoked by default. What mistake I did? I think so. It is a problem from the update, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's a problem from update. Exactly. New release was happened and they have updated the pattern. Let's print this. See, now I'm able to print it because the pattern was changed. So to get the current timestamp, they have updated with
I think your screen is again stuck.
Oh
Is
my
it same for me or?
Yeah,
It
it
is
is
stuck.
also same for me. It is stuck for me too.
oh my god. What happened? Let me check. Let me check my network speed. Yeah, but it's stable 100 Mbps now. Both are 100 Mbps only, but why it is tracking? Let me stop and reshare it again. Able to see?
Yes.
Oh my god, some network issues are happening. Okay.
I'm still stuck with the same screen. Oh no, yeah, I can see. Sorry.
Okay, guys, looks like my network is too bad today. If you guys are really have some problem, just let me know immediately. I can go with some alternative solutions. Right? Okay, so hope you guys can see this, right? So here I'm just using datetime.datetime.new. So the datetime is act as a submodule here. Datetime as a big, parent module, whatever we have imported here. So inside that, we have a datetime subclass, I mean to say sub-object. So they have changed the pattern here. So that's why it is just a small manner. Okay. So this is the stuff what we can get from the datetime module, right? When I am using .now, .now is always return the current timestamp. If you see this, here it has something, right? If I run this again, that can be changed because the current timestamp come up with two parts. Part one is nothing but the current date, and part two is nothing but the complete time. So it's a HH, MM, SS, and then milliseconds, right? Hour, minute, second, and milliseconds. That's why it can be changed every millisecond. So that's why whenever a record is happening, any change or a new record is adding into the database, so it's a highly recommended to keep the timestamp with that, whatever it is, whether it is going into the log file or database or some other mail concept, whatnot. You can keep the timestamp as a unique for entire universal time, right? That's why it is a bit useful thing. And now why it is not coming, let's see this. So going into the next level, uh, let's take this, right? Let's print date. You can see this is completely converted the string into the data. Whatever the numbers I have passed here, that completely taken into this way. So if I want to change this, looks like it is a new, what it is, I can say, what I can say for this. It's a new pattern here with a new release. Okay, so when I'm going with date, so you can see all kind of things here, right? So I can go with the formats, I can go with the isolated things, I can go with the month and everything. And I'm not going to take this now. Let's see what will happen if I run this. I'm taking that month. Let's run this. See, this is an attribute of date and time. It is saying, so what it will do, it will take everything from this, right? Everything from this date and time module. So to make it more proper, to make it more familiar, what we have to do. So it might require some kind of parameters. It might require nothing sometime. So what we can do, we can take this timestamp to the top, and then we can play with it now. So let's keep it on the time. So I'm going to take this current timestamp dot. What I want to take, I want to get the date, right? So what will happen if I run this? You can see I'm getting the current date, right? So in the same way, if I want to get the current time, right, I can go with the same timestamp dot time. If I run this, I can print the time as well. Oh, I haven't uncommented this, that's why you haven't seen, right? I can print the time as well. Now the time zone. So datetime.time zone, we can directly print it. If not, we can take that directly from as it is from timestamp, because timestamp is nothing but the object of time. So we can come to know what is an object and what is a class, how to make this kind of blueprint system to play with single kind of data, right? So we can come to know in upcoming classes. So as of now, we can just go with this. Still the time zone is not showing here. Let's see. Let's go with as time zone. You can see that as time zone. It is now you are into UST, right? So with with the UST extension, you can see that here plus 530, right? So this is how we can play with all the stuff. If I want to change the time zone, I can use that time zone what it is time zone method here to change that, right? So let's take this DateTime dot time zone. Probably let's try with this. Also not sure what will happen. So what we had to do here, right? So we can pass it as a PST. Let's try. We can keep it on the top before getting the date time. So it should be in the sequence. So before getting the timestamp, if you want to change your time zone, you can change it. Otherwise, it will not change. See, in the previous scenario, I just kept the timestamp. I mean, getting the timestamp here, and I kept the time zone change syntax in the ninth line. It means after getting the timestamp, I'm trying to change the time zone. So sometimes it will not work. So we have to place in the order what we have to do and how we can, right? That's why now I'm just placing in the sequence. So before getting the timestamp, I'm just placing the time zone change syntax. Not sure whether it can work or not. It is not working anymore. It's saying that some time delta is not a proper thing. So some errors are happening with the update. Let's see with the updated version what it can do. Right now, just yesterday, some update is happening in my machine that might be a big trouble. Right. So these are the basic things what we can play with our date, time, and complete timestamp. Right now, if I want to change the format, how can I change it? Right. So to make it more familiar, we can go into just like this. I'm going to just print. I'm not taking anything here. So current date dot See, when I hit dot, there is a function called Str Format Time. So it means to say it can convert the given string into the formatted time, right? So I'm going into some formatted stuff, going to get only hours. So when you hover on this function, you can see some kind of documentation here in this if you want to get more, right? So what are the different things inside this? You can try and you can play with these all, because this is completely different, just like you can go with D, right? What it will do. Let's duplicate this line a couple more times. So there is a small d, there is a small m, there is a capital M, and there is a 4y's, right? What will happen with single M? What will happen with double M? You can see that as well. And we can see the same thing with Y. What will happen with single Y, and what if I kept more than one? Boom. See this? What happened? So when I use %d, right, it has returned the date of the what I can say, the complete stuff, right? So when I kept for more familiar stuff, we can go with this the same string, whatever we have here. I believe that would be more meaningful to you. Just keeping the label as same what we are giving the format, right? So when I hit run button, you can see %d return complete date, right? So when I'm giving percentage small d, it returns only the date, right? And %m returns then what it is, the complete number with zero tailing, right? So capital M does not have any meaningful stuff, and the same, right? So most probably this M is nothing but to, I mean, in older versions, capital M is used to print what it is, three letters of the month, first three characters of the month name. But now it is not working here. That means that might be a change again. So what they did instead of this, if that is a case, might be 3Ms. Let's try. No, 3Ms are not there. There might be something, right? Let's go. And now, where it is, Y. You can see this, capital Y is simply go with 4 digits year. So when I'm trying with, I mean, when I'm trying with 4y's, so first y is reflected with a complete year, and remaining 3y's are not reflected. So in a older version, y should reflect what it is, 2 digits. But when I'm going to give the 4y's, that should responsible to print the 4 digits of the year. So let's keep with the small y, and yeah, let's try. Why not? Right? So small y is responsible to print the last two numbers, short year, right? There are a couple more. It's not enough here. There are standard updations, so you can go with what it is, DateTime package documentation to get more data about the date and time, right? So how to format in different ways, how to get the different things. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is A. See, A, we don't know what it is, but it has some meaning. Let's see what it is. What it said? The week name of the date, right? So it has so many. So as you've seen here, some kind of milliseconds are there, some kind of numbers are there, some kind of text wrappers are there. You can, I mean, you can do any kind of additional stuff with the additional wrappers. So this formation is nothing but additional wrapper where you can play with the date and time, right? So %n doesn't have any proper meaning. That's why it is not getting here. But actually it has. Somehow it is not, right? If I kept B, there is a meaning, right? See, right? So that's how. So small m and B are different things actually, but now they might thought why to keep two same functions with a small change. That's why they have dropped the small m and they might completely held up with %b. The small thing is %b will tailing up with what it is, short name of the month. But when it comes to small m, it is going with month number in a series 0 to 11. Mean to say 1 to 10, 1 to 12, right? So that means the 0 to whatever the index it is giving, it should be the tailing of the month, and then the month name should appear there. Somehow they just dropped it, right? So this is the smallest and most useful data type anywhere, right? So do you guys have any doubt? But I can say one thing: you have to go into the PyPy and you have to get the documentation over there. Let me take you into the where it is. Let me go here. Control D. So python.org. Oh, come on. So when you go into this Python org, my God, it is going into somewhere else. Just give me a second, somehow it is getting overlapped with this. Let me keep it here. So Python org. So you can see this PyP, right? So Python packages. You can go into this, you can search here, whatever that applications, whatever that the packages which are available. So when I hit date and time, it can return all the stuff. You can see it's a 3. Version 3 is officially released into the market, and uh, it is automatically updated with the Python packages whenever you run the update with the system, right? So if you want to go with the documentation, you can go with this. So the documentation can give complete information here. Of course, it is not much here, but actually it should give the complete information to you. It's a fresh version, might be some problem, right? See, there are a couple more packages with the date and time, right? So we are using this date and time, right? This date and time with 3, this date and time with 2. But this is a different date and time package, which is not actually come up with the Python. If you want to play with this additional wrapper on top of date and time, you can go with a special installation by using pip install. So we'll come to know how to play with this date and time, I mean pip installer as well. So now let me copy this pip install date and time. So pip is nothing but Python package installer, right? Or package installer for Python, you can say whatever it is, but pip is nothing but Python package installer, right? You have to use pip command, and then you have to type install, then you have to type whatever the package you want, right? So I'm going to play with this one right now. Let's take this. So I'm going into the terminal. See, I'm into my virtual env now. Now I'm going to what it is. I'm going to run my installer, right? Pip install space date time, right? So when I hit enter, it is getting downloaded into my current env, which is not downloaded into any of the global requirement, which is downloaded into current environment only, where I have created my virtual env. It has downloaded into this, and this is only available for this project. That's it. That's how the virtual environments will work. That's how the virtual environments will isolate your projects, which cannot be collided with each other, right? Now this package is available. The installation is done. The package is available in my uh, application right now. So if you want to go with additional wrapper now, you have to use import only to import any of the package or any of the custom script into your current script. Date time. See, and you can play with whatever they have said to you, right? So if you want to get the list of zones, they are simply saying zones, right? So let's copy this. They're saying to import the time zones layer to get that all time zones. Let's copy this. So I'm just saying how to play with. So it's not a man. I mean, what it is. It's not a bad way. At the same time, it is not a bad thing to play with the documentation. This is how, when we are into the real-time production, when we are into a specific package to R&D or to use the package into your project, you have to play in this manner only, right? So what they are saying here to play with, if you want to get time zones, they are saying to go with this. Let's try, right? So now I have these zones. Let's print these zones here. Print zones, comma zones. Right, let's run this. Boom. We have that complete list of zones. So there's a data type thing. So when we are going with what it is with our extended data types, we can come to know what is this, what type of data it is, and why the curly braces are here, right? So till the time you just go with this. See the list of available zones, which are with short name and the full name, etc, universal, Australia, everything out there, right? So this is how we can play with date and time with additional wrappers as well, right? So about this, do you guys have any doubt about this date and time? If yes, just let me know. Otherwise, I can go with the other data types.
So how can we see like a current zone and all those things?
That we can simply go with date and time. All the documentation is available here, right? I'll show you there how to get that current timestamp. I mean, current zone and everything. That should come here. By default, we have something called what it is, simple. I mean, get current time zone. Somehow it is not showing here. When I'm using zone, it is saying some error, right? So try with this. Print inside this DateTime dot. So there is no current time zone. Oh, I'm using additional wrapper. DateTime dot. This time zone should return whatever it contain inside. DateTime dot. There should be something. It's not getting actually. Time tz. Let's see whether it can return or not. But there is a standard way. So has some. This package has some problem with these functions. But whenever we are going with as time zone, right? As time zone will return with additional time zone parameter. With this support, we can come to know. But actually, the wrapper, whatever we are going with, date and time wrapper, right? The wrapper definitely contain a solution for this. That's why a couple of wrappers were come up on top of the standard functionality, right? Standard functionalities always has a drawbacks, always has a limitation, right? So whenever they have the limitation, to fulfill the limitation, there are too many packages are available in the market, right? So I think so. Zones mechanism should contain definitely something here. Zones or list, right? Time zones dot. It should return. No, it doesn't have anything. Does it has a separate package for this? Let's try. Come on. No, it has only time zone. That's biggest thing, right? So most probably we can go with this. Just try it. Just try it with date time documentation, how to get it, right? So meanwhile, let me go with the updated releases and all the stuff. So is there anything I'll definitely update to you? All right. So anything else? Okay. Uh, okay, then I'll take it as no, and then we'll go with extended data types. Okay, so what are that extended data types? So as we are as we are listed earlier, we have these four or topmost extended data types, right? So these extended data types are not a special data type. Not a static data types. These data types are going to point that primitive data types again with its values. How can that happen, right? So whenever we are going to play with if you want to store a list of names, a list of values, right? At the time, you can go with these extended data types. So to play with that, first thing is list. List is nothing but a simple, what it is, simple list of values, right? So I'm going to take L underscore uh, employee or a patient, right? So let's take this. So I'm going to take like this. So employee has a name and he has an employee code, right? And he has a join date. So let's go with something 0202. one just like that, right? And we have what it is. This guy has a the salary. Of course, we are not supposed to disclose in a direct manner the salary, right? We can take it into the special manner that can something, right? And then we can go with, see, there is no restriction to keep any kind of data. You can go with anything, right? So this can directly go with datetime dot right. You can go with anything here, datetime dot date, and then you can take all this stuff again. So instead of replacing the, instead of typing everything here, I'm going to, oh, I have removed it here, right? I think so. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't. I have the syntax. I can copy this. I can paste it here. So simple stuff. It is getting overlapped, right? So whenever you feel it is getting overlapped, it will never restrict you to keep in the line by line manner. I felt it is overlapping, so that's why I'm just going in this manner, right? So here I can place one more data type, whatever I want, right? So if I don't want anything, I can leave it. See, it is nothing but a list of values which are separated with comma. Whenever it is a last item, you're not supposed to keep the comma here. Of course, it will never restrict you, but the best practice to remove the comma for last item, right? So now, how we can print these values? When you are trying to print, try to print this type first, what type it is, right? Type of, can play with it, right? So, and at the same time, instead of playing with this type, I'm going to remove this. So let's try. It is the old one. So run this extended data types now. See, it is a list. It can say that it is a list data type, and it has this all list of values. How to access, right? So how to access each other. So by default, this list items can contain the default indexes, which all starts from 0, right? Just like string. So starts from 0 and ends with n minus 1, just like that, right? So how to get these values based on the indexes, right? So I can directly go with 1, right? I can tip, I can pick the last one by -1. I can do the same operation to reverse these items, right? So when I hit run, you can see the first item, right? The element item, I mean to say, right? Because it starts from 0, right? I have given 1. That's why it came here. So here 30,000 is just like last item -1, right? So the order is completely reversed now, right? This is how we can play with the standard, with the standard functions. How can we play with extended data types to play with the data? Either we can add into or we can remove into, right? So to play in that manner, we can go with, let me print it, not this one. Let me print it again here, right? So if I want to add one more item into this list item, what I can do, what is the time now? Oh, right, employee dot, right? So append will go with adding, adding new item into the end of the list, right? I'm going with something called senior tech lead, right? I'm just going with. So when I'm going to run, see, STL is added here, right? So whenever we are using append, it is going with this one. If I pass the same thing, some kind of uh, new project. So before or in the position of specific index, we can go with the index. So which index I want to add this, where to append this, right? What is this error here? Why it is not saying this? It is not supposed to say this. It have to append it in the 0th element, 0th position. So whenever we over on this one, it should go for the documentation again. Let it be. Somehow it is not taking. I might made some mistake here, definitely, right? So this is nothing but a list. If I want to remove some item from this, okay, yeah, definitely it should go. Somehow it is not. Let's see. If I want to remove something from this, so instead of append, we can use pop. Pop is nothing but remove the item from the last, right? So we have to give the index. If you are not giving any index, it can remove from the last, right? See, uh, let's print this before pop, right? If I run this, you can see here new project is added, and at the same time here it is dropped, right? If you want to pop the specific index, you can give that the index as well here. So I'm going to give 1. If I run it, you can see this item is not available here, right? So the same way you are just picking a value from this list, right? You can check the type and you can perform any kind of operations on this one, right? So here is a different thing, right? The pop will help will help to remove an item from the list. So how to extract that item into a separate variable from this list? So just a simple, you can keep a variable, what it is, sliced, right? So that will come into this sliced, this variable, you can say. Now you can take it as a separate. See, that is extracted from the string is extracted from this list and placed into a variable. So now you can separately play with this again. Like these are the different ways of list operations. Somehow this index is not working here. I don't know the reason. Right now, there is one more thing. Yeah. So as same whatever we are going to apply on the string. So similar kind of things we can apply here as well for slicing, for picking one, or picking in the range, whatever, right? So there is one more thing, right? So we know how to convert a string into a value, right? So how do we convert into, I mean, sorry, not a value, into a list of values, right? What it is, my string equal to something. Hello world, right? right? So I'm just going to keep this here, right? And now I'm going to convert this into a list. My string underscore list. I'm just keeping the name to explain what type of things it is keeping here, right? So what we can say, it will be dot split, right? Split with space. So when we are running it, it was splitted but not print because print my string list. See, the complete string is converted into the list now, list of values. So we can pick any part of the list, right? This is most useful in some cases where we are transforming the data and where we are collecting the series of information and placing here. So this list is nothing but linear array. I mean to say list of values. So one-dimensional array, we can say it. Okay, one-dimensional data set or a simple data set or a simple list of values, whatnot. You can say anything. So now I have split it with space, right? If I want to join with something, join these all values with something, what I can. So I can use this. Remember that there are some reserved words. We are not supposed to use that reserved words directly, right? For example, print is a reserved word, right? And new is a reserved word. We are not supposed to use new directly, right? So new string equal to, I want to join with some separate some kind of character here, whether it is a space or a dash, whatever. I'm going to keep with space, right? Dot join. We have to pass the list. Print. Now new string is available here. What happened? What are you saying? Okay, that's because of the date time, right? So some kind of data types will not allow you to parse directly because those are what it is. Those are not standard things, right? So we had to change the data type if we want to print or if we want to what it is. We want to play with the data type in string. Right? Now I'm going to take my string, which is simply useful. Hope you guys aware of that, right? How to change one data type into another with the help of cast, right? So you can try with that. Now you can see I'm just printed this complete string after the split as well as same what we are seeing here with the space separate. If I want to use some kind of special character which can use to join, we can see is simply joined with the pipe separator and then printed here. Right? By saying this, I can I can understand now. Of course, it is a string, but the string is converted from a list with the help of pipe symbol to join together. Right? This is a way how we can play with list. All right. You can use anything, either pipe or whatever the thing you can give here that can be directly print. If you want to use
Harish, how to remove special characters from the string?
special characters, right? That is going with the regular expression. Or you can use replace by finding or replacing that individual individual character, right? Otherwise, if you want to remove altogether in a single case, you have to go with the regular expression with the pattern, detection pattern, right? We just kept the the regular expression for end of this, what it is, basic concepts. All right, any doubts? If no doubts, I can take it as no, and then we'll go to wrap this call.
This file is going to be there in the GitHub, right?
Yes, everything. I'll upload all these files into the GitHub. No worries. And also, as soon as possible, once the recording is ready, I'll share that recording in the group. All right. Yeah. Okay then. So tomorrow we are going to play with the remaining 3 additional data types. Okay, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.